All right, so this story takes place, I'm in undergrad, and so I'm probably around 1920. And I was a journalism major and ended up working at my advisor's own newspaper in the community next to our college's community, so like the next county over. And there was like a hurricane, and these churches were doing really great work in the community. So I went to go do an article about that, take some photos. And when I was there, this very nice man was giving me some information, was being really helpful, and was also very attractive and very tall. And then like he kind of was like, do you want to get my number just in case you want to like ask me some more questions? And yeah, and so I was like, sure, yeah. And again, very nice, seemed really cool. Just, I thought he was there volunteering and helping out. And so we did that. And then I go back to the office, I'm doing my thing. He starts texting me and kind of texts me like, hey, I'm in the area kind of close to the office. And said something like he sees the office. And at this point, I'm like, I don't really know you. Like, in my mind, I'm thinking, do not come to my office. Why are you around here? And so I was a little weirded out by that, but I just kind of tried to brush it off. And then we ended up setting up a date. And so we went out, and I got to the church, I was going to pick him up. There was a truck there, he said was his own. And in hindsight, I don't think that was his truck. I think he just said that. And so we went out to eat, and because there was someone else driving the truck, like just to say that too, like someone else was in this truck, and he like wanted me to come and get him from this church. And so we go out to eat. I see this like really cute baby, and he was a black man, and he made a statement like, oh, we'd have some really cute mixed babies. And I was like, that's a lot to say on the first, the first time we're hanging out.
Yeah, don't say that on the first date.
It's a lot. It's kind of a lot. I'm like, I'm sure we would. But, and then through our conversations, he tells me that his mother has a mansion in Rocky Mount. If you know anything about Rocky Mount, there ain't no mansions there. And then he also goes on to tell me he's a volunteer firefighter. And he also is he does, I think, carpentry or architecture, building houses. And then like he owned his own business. And then later on, I found out he was an undercover cop. And I just so I'm just saying this because he's just pulling out the red. he's just pulling them out. He's pulling them out.
Alyssa is like
pulling them out, and I'm
She's just doing her prop comedy.
My dryer's not working, and this rag was drying on the chair. But. And that's not all. There's more. But wait, there's more. And so we watch. I'm trying to be polite. I'm trying to be nice throughout this whole thing. I'm trying to be normal, whatever. I'm just like, let's just get through this. We go to the movies. He rubs my feet during the movie. He gets this call, and he says, because he's an undercover cop, they want him to help with a drug bust. He gets me to take him and drop him off somewhere in the middle of fucking nowhere. In the middle of nowhere. It's like an abandoned building, and I drop him off. He makes me get out of the car to hug him. This whole time, I'm thinking, this is it. Like, I'm about to lose my life. And I drop him off, and that's that, right? It's over. The end. Probably never going to see that person again. So that's not where it ends. Later on, I get a call. He's been arrested. He said the drug bust was a setup. I do not believe the drug bust was a setup. I do not believe that, because I don't believe he was an undercover cop. I don't think he was a volunteer firefighter. all these things. And so I continue to get phone calls. I get a call from his dad, supposedly saying, why aren't you helping him? Don't you care about him? Like, I don't even know him. Like, and it's just like, I mean, for months and months, I get these calls from like the Department of Corrections. And I have family members that have been incarcerated, and I know about them Department of Corrections phone calls. And so my point is, my moral to this story, I believe, is when they start pulling out the red flags, start pulling out. Just get out of there. And then also, I'm fine, right? Like I turned out okay from this, but it could have very easily gone wrong in several places. And I just want more women to just like, don't be nice. Don't take it. Don't deal with it. Get out of there, because we don't know what could happen. And thank goodness I'm fine. But
oh my God, Alyssa.
And also, I looked this guy up later. He had charge upon charge upon charge upon charge, like so many charges.
Was a drug dealer.
Well, I know. Yes, it was. I mean, he probably could have made a really great life for us. I don't know.
I mean, oh my God. And I mean, Alyssa, I like that you said don't be. I think I was taught like be a young lady, be nice. No, if you are in a situation you feel uncomfortable, it is not your job to be nice. Get out of there. You know when I would have gotten out of there? One, probably when he touched my feet in the movie.
To me, that was like, what? And I'm not
feet?
Alyssa, I think that's how we're programmed to be like, continue to be polite and kind and nice. Yeah. Even when people are giving us a million red flags, that you need to trust your gut. And I think that's true for like most things.
Yeah.
Dating and like meeting people. Trust your gut, man. If it doesn't feel, if someone's telling you that they,
no one has that many jobs.
Yes. And that was not his truck. And
no, you had to drop him to his drug deal. Listen, that was not.
But see, I think being more straightforward is helpful, because you can be like, "Hey, why is that guy in your truck then?" Please.
I think I asked, but he's like, "Oh, I'm just letting him use it."
I'm sure he was a good BSer, probably.
Yeah, I think so too.
He's probably tall, dark, and handsome, and I know that'd be blinded. I mean, probably would have blinded me for a hot minute.
I mean.
So from our stories, I think you can gather, here's what I think you can gather. Do things that make you, trust your gut.
Trust your gut. Yeah, that's what I got out of this.
Trust your gut.
Yeah.
Alyssa, I like that story. I mean, because, too, I took a lot
that story.
Are you kidding me? I was on the edge of my seat. I was like, what's this guy going to do next?
The whole time I was like that. I was like watching a horror movie. Like, why are you going upstairs? There's somebody else.
Yes.
Glad you're okay, Alyssa.
Yes. Thank the Lord.
Thank you. Yeah. It's just, yeah. It is, and it's just, I really, and I feel like I've become a much more straightforward person. And I think I'm good at calling people out on their BS sometimes. We all have room to grow. But yeah, it's important. And I don't know, it just makes me sad, because I do feel like sometimes women get harmed just because they are being nice.
Mm-hmm.
And it's listen to your gut. Yeah. And I almost didn't even want to go out with him. Like, I was just like, oh, I should do this just to do it. Like, I like
comfort zone and be unsafe.